Welcome back, students. In the earlier lecture, we saw what is GeoJSON and the structure of GeoJSON and how we can convert from shapefile to GeoJSON. So let's see the advantages of GeoJSON over shapefile. Okay. So the first advantage is readability. So GeoJSON is human-readable and easy to understand and edit. And actually, shapefiles are not human-readable because specialized software. So you have seen that I opened a GeoJSON in my text editor and also in Sublime Text, and you can read it. Like it is a feature collection, and this is the feature, and this is the properties. Let me show you. Say, where is it? Here. Say I can read it. I can open it and I can read it. But for shapefile, it is not human readable. If you want to read that, you need a particular piece of software. You can open that in ArcMap or you can open that in QGIS. And file components, that GeoJSON is a single file, only the .geojson file, and it is not dependent on any other file. But for shapefile, as I said, that multiple files are needed, like the HSP, the HSX, the database file, the reference system file. If you miss any of these files, then the shapefile will not work properly. So if you need to send your data to say any of your colleague, you need to zip all these files in a single zip folder and send him the files. And many times we miss one or two files. But for GeoJSON, that is not the case. You just send on single piece of file and it's completely okay. And the size is that it's smaller due to the text compression, typically large file due to its multiple binary files. So actually, as the shapefile is not human readable, but it is machine readable, so it is binary files, and the size is large. That is larger compared to GeoJSON for the same amount of data. And for data transfer, GeoJSON can be easily transferred over any web web protocol like HTTP, hypertext, like HTTP or REST APIs. It works for any type of web interface. The GeoJSON works very nicely or easily. But shapefile is more complex and requires handling multiple files to send it over a HTTP or REST APIs. Actually, REST APIs follow the JSON format, and our GeoJSON is also JSON. So it is very easy to send the GeoJSON file over a REST API. And web compatibility, as I said, that directly supported in web applications and APIs and require conversion or special handling for web use. As it is a text file, it is easily supported in web applications and APIs. And for editing that, it can be edited in any text editor, but for shapefile, you require particular piece of software like the ArcMap or the QGIS to edit that. And again, the integration that it seamlessly integrates with web mapping libraries. And this point is very important, that it seamlessly integrates with web mapping libraries. So actually, GeoJSON integrates perfectly with Leaflet, OpenLayers, and also with Mapbox. And the default data for these three popular mapping libraries, Leaflet, OpenLayers, and Mapbox, are GeoJSON, not the shapefile. And complexity handling can handle nested structure and complex attributes. You have seen that it is following a nested structure, so you can handle pretty much very complex data inside a GeoJSON, but you cannot do that inside a shapefile. The shapefile, there's an attribute table, and the attribute table is following a same structure. Like say a feature does not have a property, but another feature has that property, and these two features are in the same shapefile. So if you open the attribute table of the shapefile, the feature that does not have that property, that column field is empty. So it is limited to that flat attribute structures. But for GeoJSON, it can handle very complex data structures. And again, for licensing, no licensing is required for GeoJSON, but Shapefile is a property of H3. Actually, Shapefiles have been developed by H3 and it is a property of H3. So many times license are required for that. And supported extension, or it is supported by modern web and GIS libraries, and it is supported by traditional GIS software like the ArcMap, QGIS, but for modern web and GIS libraries, GeoJSON is the best. And accessibility, as I said, they're accessible and usable in many environments. So the main advantage of GeoJSON is that it is readable, human readable, easy to understand, and it is widely supported by Leaflet, OpenLayer, Mapbox, and Web APIs. So this one is very important, that Leaflet, OpenLayers, Mapbox, and all the web APIs like REST API, and most of the API format is in JSON, and GeoJSON, as I said, that also follows the JSON format. So it interacts very well with the APIs. And through GeoJSON, you can transfer data between the servers and web applications very easily. And we'll see that how we can transfer our data between our server and our web applications. We'll see that when we'll be discussing our server-side language or our server-side GIS applications. And there are two things that you can convert the shapefiles to GeoJSON using QGIS. I have discussed that. And another thing is the GeoJSON validator. So many times, if you want to check that whether your GeoJSON data structure is valid or it is okay or not, you can do so by searching in the internet. So, searching in the internet, say GeoJSON validator. Okay, GeoJSON validator. This one have been developed by Mapbox. You see, map from the no. So this has been developed by Mapbox, and it's a GeoJSON validator. We can validate our GeoJSON. How we can do that? We can just drag it and drop it here. And you can see that it is appearing on our map, and this is our JSON. And this is all the structure. And this is in a tabular structure, or that thing we are seeing in QGIS. Actually, when you are again importing the GeoJSON in QGIS and open the attribute table, you will see the attribute table is the same as the shapefile, but the data structure has changed. The QGIS is showing the attribute as it was showing it for the shapefile. So it is also there, the table is there, and the JSON structure is this one. And also let's validate our pipelines and buildings. Which is our pipelines, and you see the pipeline has been loaded. And also you can click here that you can see the attribute or the attributes. So actually we'll develop something similar for our first web applications, and I think it will be better than this one because we will be able to query many things there. Okay, and let's load the buildings. Sorry. Our buildings. Okay. So all our GeoJSON are valid. Okay, so this is it for the GeoJSON. For our next lecture, we will see that how we can load this GeoJSON data into our web maps and also apply some styling to make it look good. So see you on the next lecture.